Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Global Youth Forum. Do you know who is the most popular diplomat in the world? I think you will agree with me if I tell you the answer is a chubby and fluffy ambassador, China's giant panda. We're familiar with panda's cuteness, but not many of us realize how much this panda diplomacy has pushed forward our public diplomacy. The panda diplomacy could be traced back to the Tang Dynasty, and modern China resumed this tradition in the mid-20th century. These cute black and white bears have been sent to many countries to alleviate lingering tensions and to bridge the gaps. My dear friends, you may ask, why pandas? Because the world today is so much often divided by our conflicts, because peoples from different regions often hold biased opinions towards each other, because we need a messenger carrying our goodwill and friendship to showcase to the world what we could be like when we are in harmony. Wherever our panda ambassadors go, local citizens fell in love with them very quickly. In Thailand, there was a 24-hour live show about the panda princess Ling Bing. In Washington, the arrival of Ling Ling and Xing Xing served as powerful diplomatic tension reliever while the two countries were breaking the ice in the 1970s. In Netherlands, local government invested 7 million euros to build a panda palace with nurseries and state-of-the-art labs to welcome Wu Wen and Xuan Ya. Panda diplomacy has proved to be a creative and effective strategy in our public diplomacy. It demonstrated China's wisdom in how we can help people and global partnerships to talk across the Gulf and bridge the gap. So, what can the world learn from China's panda diplomacy? We learned it is possible to seek connections and commonality based on our shared love and affection. The Netherlands, after receiving pandas from China, sent 4 gorillas to Nanjing Hongshan Forest Zone this year. Australia, on the other hand, followed China's steps and engaged in the koala diplomacy and forged new ties with other countries. Pandas built bridges where politics could not. They're a symbol of our partnership where it's just about not to conquer, but to connect, not to impose, but to inspire. Ladies and gentlemen, as the youth today, we have even more opportunities to engage in public diplomacy. Through music that transcends language barriers, through movies that open doors into daily lives, and through food that warms the strangers on the same table. We youth can find our own creation of connections, just like panda diplomacy, but in our own style. And these connections start with us. Thank you so much.
Contestant number 9, how do you think China can produce more cultural icons, such as pandas, that are well received and warmly received by the rest of the world, and that are quintessentially Chinese? And what do you think, or what items do you think could be the next pandas in the foreseeable future?
Well, thank you for your question. I believe it will be very hard to find a substitute for panda, because panda to Chinese culture is so exclusive. And in some other countries, there are no pandas. So panda is a unique symbol of our Chinese culture. And I don't think there will be something in terms of the animal scenario could be a better choice. Instead, we can find other choices in other fields. For instance, as I mentioned in my speech, in sports, in movies, in other music performances. And I believe that is why recent years have witnessed the skyrocketing and runaway success of China's movie industry, especially like the Ne Zha, or some video games like the Genshin Impact. Isn't that? So my idea about the future to connect to the people isn't about through animals, but through our developments in technology and other resources. Thank you so much.
As you said, pandas have now become one of China's most valuable diplomats. So just talk to us a little bit more about how panda diplomacy can demonstrate that cultural symbols can be mobilized to achieve diplomatic objectives.
Well, thank you for your question. As a matter of fact, your words reminded me of one touching story. An American zoologist called Rachel Shagan in 1970s come to China to see and research about pandas in China. And later, he studied about our ways and strategies to preserve this kind of animals, to raise it, and about how to preserve it. His study and research later laid the foundation for the current and modern preservation rules for panda protection. And also, it becomes the emotional bond where people from both the America and China can find a way to connect and cooperate with each other in terms of the scientific research. I believe the panda diplomacy and all that public diplomacy is about a good start. It builds warmth before words, trust before treaties. It's about a good beginning, lighting up the fire, and with our concrete efforts later, we keep the flame alive. Thank you so much.